Silly, and welcome to my Sims 4 Horse Ranch expansion pack review. Big thank you to EA for the free game code through the EA Creator Network. I hopefully did not let that colour my review in any way whatsoever. We'll start with Creator Sim. So there are a lot of Creator Sim items that are perfect to start your ranch life with. Hats, accessories, bandanas, so much denim, some cow print, some absolutely fantastic pieces. I believe there are also a couple of items that are Native American inspired. A lot of the swatches are also have like dirty or worn looks to it, making your sim look like they've really been out working on the ranch. And of course, some nicer things for when you go down to the pub and do some, not pub, probably not called a pub in here, but to do some cowpoke dancing. Plenty of adult feminine stuff, quite a few masculine adult items. So, you know, that's always good. I'm always glad to see a good amount of masculine adult items. It does fall short, however, when it comes to children, toddlers, and infants. There's one or two items in each category, maybe, if you are lucky. So it's always disappointing. I'm never a fan of when that happens. However, the infants do get this absolutely adorable horse onesie. There's also a couple of new aspirations and traits. And who, of course, could forget the star of the pack, horses? I did. Twice. Once when recording my Creator Sim part, and just now, the past week or so, editing, I completely forgot to put in the clip of horses in Creator Sim. So Horse Creator Sim is exactly like it is for cats and dogs. You can choose all of the different breeds. You can choose to mix some breeds. They've got traits. You can really just go a bit crazy with some of their things. You know, you can have like very much like made up. You don't have to go too far into it. But then of course there is the paint mode, which you will see soon, where you can just go absolutely insane and make some crazy variation of horses. And there's a couple of items that you can dress your horse into as well. So, you know, like a hat, you know, those kind of things. So you can really customize your horses like cats and dogs. Overall, I think Creator Sim is pretty well done. The items that are there are perfect for the world, for the ranch experience. I am always disappointed about the lack of children, toddlers, and infant clothing. Well, children, toddlers, infants are more recent disappointment. But I had a suspicion that after growing together, that infants were going to go the way of children and toddlers. Forgotten Creator Sim categories. In saying that, the other forgotten Creator Sim category is masculine adult. And that's actually got a good range. Not as much of a range as feminine adult, but I mean, you take what you can get, I guess. I don't know what I expect from Creator Sim for anyone other than feminine adult, to be honest. Horse Creator Sim being exactly like pets, cats and dogs, is fantastic. What people create, the patience and creativity people create with the cat and dog Creator Sim is absolutely incredible. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what people do with the horses. I don't really have the creativity or patience, so I usually put a heart stamp on or write hi or just leave it, to be honest. Try and put like some sort of mark or something just to make it look a little bit unique, but like nothing like impressive. There's quite a few different breeds though, so I mean, I don't know anything about horse breeding or horse breeds, so it's interesting to see all of those. But yeah, Create Sim overall pretty good. I think I would give it an 8 out of 10. It's really good for what it has. Very stylized. So it is very much something that you're only going to use on the ranch. Horses, just exactly. And I'm sorry, but having less children, toddler, and infant stuff is always going to decrease the creator sim for me. For build by, we have a lot of items perfect for your ranch. I got a lot of things that will work for modern farmhouse or rustic ranch sort of styles. The items in build by are fantastic. I have had a lot of fun playing around with them. I've been doing a build off and on. Not that I've been recording it, and also I did a stream where I was doing a Sims ANZ shell challenge with a barn, and did a bit of building with that. So definitely, again, it's a very stylized because this pack is very specifically horse ranch. Everything is very stylized to a ranch. I don't know how often I would use a lot of this stuff otherwise. It has some really good items. The kitchen items are really good. We have more rocking chairs. So before growing together, rocking chairs only came with nifty knitting, but growing together came with a rocking chair, one or two rocking chairs, I can't remember, and this has a couple of rocking chairs. So I guess that they're not going to be exclusive to Nifty Knitting anymore. That's right, because knitting is. I don't see much use of most of the stuff outside of a ranch. So for that, I'm going to give that also an 8 out of 10 because it's fantastic for what it is. The swatches are great. There's a lot of really worn swatches. And some newer looking swatches. You're not stuck to the like an old rustic ranch. You could do like a modern farmhouse type look, but it is again very particular. So you're only really going to use that for the ranch. So for that, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 overall. The beautiful world of Chestnut Ridge is accentuated by the absolutely fantastic builds by Sims community creators. Every single build is gorgeous and fits in perfectly into this world, designed for whatever ranch life you are going to have. There are ranches specifically for a nectary if you are planning on focusing on nectar. There's a ranch for your horse riding and training. There's absolutely wonderful family homes, starter homes, and of course, beautiful community lots. I could go on forever about community creators. I love that the Sims team has been doing this ever since Snowy Escape. It just absolutely elevates the pack and the world. Having these absolutely talented creators be part of this process, just it makes me very happy. The only downside is I cannot renovate them. That I know I can. I know that I'm allowed to, but when I need to add another room because my family is expanding, I feel so bad renovating the builds. But other than that, they're absolutely gorgeous. I am so glad that they started doing this. The ranch life is going to be incredibly busy and demanding for your Sims, which I actually kind of love. It's very realistic. You know, these ranch lives, these people are busy dawn to dusk. So it makes sense that it's the same for your Sims. You've got to take care of all of your animals. The goats and the sheep are absolutely adorable. The mini sheep, mini goats. I love them a lot. You can feed them with a milk bottle, or they will eat from the hay that you have in the feeder as well. Starting out with horse riding is going to be a nerve-wracking time for your sim. It's going to take them some time to get used to being on a horse. They're going to look very nervous, especially if it's a horse that hasn't had much training as well. Overall, it'll take time for it to be a more enjoyable experience for those involved. And on the other hand, that's just animals. The animals, all the animals you have to build up a friendship with. The goat is more ferocious than the sheep. Usually, I did have a sheep try to bite my sim, but it was usually the goats. Alright, I gotta say, this, could be improved. Maybe the horse rooting. Not great. The horse just came into the house. I mean, sure. We got a locked horse. We gotta remember to lock doors. I think is the case. Let's go lock for all horses. Okay, that is an option. The better you care for the mini sheep and mini goats, the more the wool and the milk will be worth. So make sure to keep them clean, fed, and socialized, and they will be very happy that way. You can train your horse in a couple of ways. There's jumping, which starts out with just one bar on the horse jump. And then over time, as your horse improves their jumping skill, you can eventually train them with 2 horse jumps. There is also the barrel racing, which improves your horse's agility skill. So there's a few ways to get horses in this game. Obviously, you can make them in Creator Sim, and then of course there's the Equestrian Center, which is open only a certain amount of time, at 8 a.m. to 7 a.m. to 6. I don't know, but it closes, and you can purchase a horse, so you can rescue a horse 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. There we go. You can also sell your horses there, but you can also use your animal hay feeder here. That's where you would call Ranch Animal Exchange, and you can buy your mini goats and mini sheep there. You can rescue a horse, or you can purchase a horse. One of the horse's needs is fun, so you can use a ball. They also like rides to help with fun. The cowpoke dancing is a fun little addition. If you have get together, you will have a dance skill, but that will have no reflection on your Sim's ability to do the cowpoke dance. I was a little disappointed by this, but I also understand, Get Together is an entirely different expansion pack. Perhaps some more pack compatibility or interactability would be good there. It does seem weird that she's never danced before in her life and can cowpoke dance. It's just, I don't know, not exactly what I would expect. So there is a range of different competitions that you can do, each focusing on different skills. And once you've done them all, you can eventually reach the Ultimate Horse Championship. But you'll have to start at beginner for each of them, and they will give you suggested, recommended skills to take part in those competitions. Came third in the first ever competition with a bit of prize money. It cost $100 to enter, so we come out with an extra $100. But if there is anything you do in this pack, you should take your horse for a ride around Galloping Gulch. Absolutely wonderful scenery, and the whole, it's just really lovely to just ride around. Plus, it helps their endurance.
Why are we fighting skeletons? They drop items? There's treasure? I don't know what's happening. And it's snakes.
Community jobs are a good way to make a little bit of extra money. It won't make a lot of money, but you can get a little bit extra coming in that way.
So apparently it snows in Chestnut Ridge, or is that the name of the world? I don't know. I didn't know if we'd be getting snow or not. We don't have a snow in Oasis Springs or Strangerville. And those are the worlds I thought would be most like this one, but here we go, a bit of snow.
Ah, yes. A perfectly working game.
No issues whatsoever. So it took, I think, 3 successful heart swirly around things with them for Cyclone to become pregnant. So I'm not sure how long they're pregnant. If it's the same as Sims or is the same as pets. Because cats and dogs, it's like a day or two, or something, and Sims, it's 3 days. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, it's going to take some time. You have to know the horses. The horses have to know each other.
The time came once Cyclone became pregnant to sell the extra horse I got for the pregnancy because I didn't actually need that other horse. I was getting a foal. So, yeah, it's pretty simple, and you usually get a bit of extra money. And then Cyclone went into labor. And you can help your horse. You can soothe horse in labor, which is a very nice little thing that you can do. And then you get a horse, and we just randomized the name. The last name is just the family name of the sim, and we have little baby turtle. The foals are so small and adorable, and you have to make extra sure that you care for them properly. There's a limit on the amount of things that you can do to socialize with them. The only skill they have is temperament, and as the temperament increases, you'll be able to do more. You can socialize. You have to feed them yourself. They will not eat from the feeder by themselves. So they will either feed from their mother or you feed them a bottle. They're very, very cute. You also can train to eat hay. So there's a few ways you can do that. You can do it with by hand. You can take them to prairie grass. You can take them to the feeder.
It's time. Cyclone has all of the skills. I have 10. Let's go for the ultimate horse championship. It's going to take a while, so we'll skip to the end and see how we go. Well, we got silver. We can try again tomorrow. However, it did mean that we completed the aspiration, the championship rider aspiration. Now, it is summer, Saturday. It took us 6 in-game weeks to finish this aspiration. So yeah, it's gonna take you some time, but you can do it. It's just gonna take a while, a long time, dedication. I have switched over to the expert nectar maker aspiration. So because I've done a bit of the nectar making through it, we're part of the way through anyway. So previous selling of nectar does count. I have read that there is a bug where the mysterious rancher specifically mentions the mysterious rancher here make 100,000 simoleons selling nectar. I have read that doesn't count towards that aspiration. It'll be some sort of bug. So while you will get more money, selling it to the mysterious rancher, it will not count towards your aspiration. So you've got to kind of balance that.
Nectar making was what I was most excited for this pack. We've previously had nectar making in The Sims 3 World Adventures, possibly in Sims 1, one of the Sims 1 expansion packs. I can't remember exactly. So Sims 3 World Adventures nectar making was fantastic. And this one just does not live up to that. I would have really liked to have different types of grapes introduced. In Sims 3 World Adventures, there were different types of grapes introduced for the different types of grape nectar or wine, because that is what it is like for wine. You have different grapes. And you can really, with Sims 3 World Adventures, you can just mix whatever you would like, any sort of fruit, vegetable, whatever, anything that you would like into the nectar maker, and just sort of experiment and make all sorts of different things. For the Sims 4 Horse Ranch, it is a 5-level skill. There is a limited amount of recipes, and you really are stuck to only those recipes, which is a little disappointing. I know it's the Sims 4 Horse Ranch, but the Sims 3 World Adventures was all about tombs and exploring and stuff, and the nectar making was just a side thing for the France world. Like, it's very hard for me to not compare these previous Sims experiences with the Sims 4, because I know that they've done it before. So yeah, I am disappointed in the nectar making. You can make a lot of money with it, and it's great. And I'll probably have Sims be like a nectar making, have a nectar ranch, and that sort of thing. It's just, I don't know. It's disappointing. It's disappointing. I just want to see this, like, just drinking straight out of the bottle, girl. And now she's extra nectar feeling inspired. Just drink the whole thing. That's $1,000 down the road. It's fine. Oh, look, now she's getting really inspired. She should probably not have any more nectar now for now. Let's try. Let's have that last amount. So there's 4 servings in each wine bottle. I just want to say. Yipsy. Okay. Oh, and there she is, dazed and energy failure. So be careful with the nectar, guys. Over-nectared. She found her limit. Sure. Cool. Yep. I have mods in, but I don't have any current alcohol-based mods, so this is definitely from the game. I may have just used Social Bunny to get our friendship up to the top, but sometimes when you're working on stuff for a review, you just need to do these little tricks to get the details for things. Cyclone, can you not right now? I'm trying to get this nectar thing. Secrets. Yes, you're putting the pieces together well. You've earned my trust. Next time you're crafting some nectar, try using a death flower and spinach, an old family recipe that's quite good for longevity. Even post-life, as a matter of fact. I have a spare bottle if you'd like to give it a spin, but in the future you'll have to prepare it yourself. I may even have ingredients I can part with from time to time. Okay, Vitality Nectar. Does he have the ingredients? There we go. If we can start a death flower thing. Yes! Okay, great. We have a death flower and we can plant it. Okay, I'm not going to sell her because she was the horse that we began with, but like if you come over here, actions, look at how much she is worth now with all of that work put into her, with being a champion horse, top skills of everything, having 1 gold medals, only silver in the overall
competition. But yeah, this is her child who's just born recently. He's already worth that much, and we haven't done much training at all because he's just going to be worth a little bit more because he is the offspring of our champion horse. He's also apparently going to learn these skills faster. His temperament is already pretty high. We can't do any of the other training. But if we come over here, see, he's got the champion genes trait. So he'll have higher smiling value in general. He's already got 4 in temperament. I mean, he's like 3 days away from even being an adult horse. So breeding and that stuff. I mean, in real life is a pretty lucrative business, so it makes sense it would be lucrative. Wow, words. Sorry, future analysts editing this. It makes sense that in game it would be lucrative. I don't know what's going on with this. I have this ranch animal event. I invited most of the kids because I thought they would be a good idea. It started with a storm. The storm's cleared up. This is really annoying me. My sheep keep escaping. And yeah, it's just events are still very much broken. They always have been. I mean, I don't know what I expected. Turtle has just aged up on a first ride, already at level 3 of the I just got a notification saying 3. That's 154% because of champion genes, and I think that champion genes thing is a pretty good trait to breed. Okay, so more information about the nectar, this making money. If you do it from here and you go multi-select, I don't currently have any, but you know how you can go click, 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 and then click sell? That's not going to count towards the aspiration for making 100,000. So as easy, it does make it quicker. It's not going to count to your aspiration, so you're going to have to do the good old pull and drag for everything, which can be annoying, I'll admit. I'm just going to sell this last nectar here, and there we go. She's finished that aspiration. Expert nectar maker, which has given her a trait, nectar know-it-all. These Sims can craft pre-aged nectar, have an iron bladder when it comes to drinking nectar, and the negative emotions have less influence on their current mood. Okay. Nectar making is a trillion art, and Lee has mastered it. Those who drink the delectable nectar produced by her instantly know that it was crafted by an expert nectar maker. Sim who's okay. So maybe her nectar's better. I don't know. But what I am going to do is this is the vitality nectar. I think that's the one that she got from him. She did make one, but it hasn't finished aging yet. So I'm going to pour 1 serving. It's worth 25,000 when you consider what it's supposed to do. But I'm going to keep this open. I'm going to see what it does to this. She has 13 days until she is an elder. Cool. I like that. Let's pour a serving. Where did it go? What about here? Can you do it up here? Pour a serving. Let's just drink. Let's try just drink. See if you can go to just 1 drink. Because you still got other servings in there. I'm pretty sure. And now that's down to 50. So that only is 2 days. I don't know how worth it is. I mean, it brings ghosts back, I'm pretty sure. But for a sim, it's like, here's an extra 2 days of your life. It's kind of like, is that really what we want? That's a lot of work for 2 days. I mean, I can just go in here and go, oh, look, potion, youth potion, and I'm back to potion of youth, which is only 1,500, and I can go back all the way. I don't know if that's really worth it for your living Sims. It's just 2 days from one of the servings. So you'd get 8 days from a whole bottle, basically. Out of curiosity, I thought I'd try one of these, doing the nectar now that she's finished the thing. And it starts lightly aged, but I'm pretty sure her other stuff was already lightly aged. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I feel like it was. As with all aspirations, it's more about the sense of achievement for having completed it rather than the trait you get at the end. I find the traits are often just like, I don't really care. So I did play a good amount of the pack. As you saw, there are things that you miss. Once you get like a decent ranch going with a lot of animals, sheep, goats, and stuff, you will need to hire a ranch hand. It is basically impossible to take care of it by yourself. Maybe if you have multiple Sims, it will be easier. But it's definitely the ranch hand is necessary. They're supposed to work from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. No, yes, that is right. And I did get a notification when I first hired a ranch hand that said that they would leave the fertilizer, the horse manure, alone so that I could decide what to do with it. The amount of times the ranch hand cleaned it up before I could put it in my inventory to use it as fertilizer in my garden was frustrating. But other than that, the ranch hand also did bug out sometimes. They wouldn't turn up some days, so I had to rehire them. Some days they wouldn't leave after the work hours. If that happened, I had to cheat them to leave. Then they absolutely never turned up the next day. And I had to rehire them. But there were other times I had to rehire them as well. So the ranch hands were a bit buggy. That was not exactly great. With the horse training and stuff, you're going to have to dedicate so much time to that. Your sim is not going to have time for a regular job if they are on a ranch. Which is fine because, you can make plenty of money with the competitions and the nectar making and a little bit of extra money from the sheep and goats. Another thing I absolutely have to mention in this review is with The Sims 3, horses, cats, dogs, and small pets all came with the Sims 3 pets. And this time we get all three of those things in, we get what came in one expansion pack in Sims 3 in 2 expansion packs and a stuff pack in Sims 4. The stuff pack requiring one of those expansion packs to be able to be fully used. I'm going to give the gameplay a 7 out of 10 because I truly believe the nectar making in particular could have been better. I've seen it in the Sims franchise before better. So I am disappointed in that. And I enjoyed the pack overall. I enjoyed playing it. I enjoyed the horse side of things, and having the sheep and the mini goats and the mini sheep and the horses, training your horse. My recommendation is wait for a sale. But I usually think you should do that anyway for The Sims. For there are a lot of expansion packs and game packs and stuff packs and kits, and it really, really, really does kind of add up. It's very expensive, even with the base game being free now. Everything else, it's very expensive. So if you want it, wait for a sale because it's just a lot of money otherwise. And I think that's about where we will leave it for my review of The Sims 4 Horse Ranch Expansion Pack. Share your own thoughts below if you have any questions about the pack. If you disagree, if you agree, anything, share them below. Keep an eye on my YouTube channel. I always have content about new packs. Might not always be a review. It depends on how I'm feeling. With
other real life stuff, but there's always content about Sims. But that is all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Dag dag!